And that was a statement pinfall by Sonya Strong. Both women, you can see it, their breath is becoming more labored. It's getting harder and harder with the heat and the humidity here. It's raining outside, but it's a hot rain. I don't mean to play meteorologist, but that makes the air so humid and arid. Makes it hard for you to breathe. And after the fire extinguisher, the kendo stick, there's a damn table on the outside. I'm verklempt. What is Sonya Strong doing, Shapiro? Look at this. Oh, no. Got her back turned to Violet, and Violet makes her pay. Almost centers that table. Devastating forearm. Huge forearm right to those kidneys. Violet now has Sonya in an unprecarious position on that top turnbuckle. Oh, my God. Don't tell me. She's got a sleeper hold right on that top turnbuckle. She's got that rear naked choke. Tree of woe. And it's a street fight. There's no rope break. Using those ropes for leverage. Sonya is hooked up, choked out here. But losing positioning. Violet couldn't hold on to the bridge. She was bridging up with her neck and she couldn't hold the bridge. She tried for as long as she could. But the damage may have been done, Shapiro. That little bit might have been enough. This is where Violet has to go on the attack. She can't take her time anymore. With the physical toll this match has taken on Sonya, that might be enough. As Violet now is climbing the top rope. You can see the toll it's been taking on Violet, slow to get up there. And she needs to hurry. At this point, any offensive move may be the last one. Swinging back. Oh, my God! Oh, my God, Shapiro! That spinning back kick sent Violet right through the table. Jesus Christ. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel this morning. This is the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script, episode 195, part number 2 for your Saturday, November 11, 2017. If you guys are wondering what you seen at the beginning of the video, that was JD and Matthew Ryan Shapiro calling a damn good women's street fight at House of Glory High Intensity 6 from this past August. If you guys want to go check out House of Glory, which I hope you all take the time out of your day to do, HOGWrestling.net. That is HOGWrestling.net. That is their official website. Make sure you guys go there. You can find all their social media on their website. You can watch videos on demand. You can buy tickets to their upcoming shows. Find out what's going on in the world of House of Glory. HOG Live every Thursday on Facebook Live via their official Facebook page and on YouTube. Usually they go live at 8 p.m. on Facebook and then 9 p.m. on YouTube. So make sure you guys get in on that, man. Show your boys some love and support independent wrestling, man. House of Glory has their biggest show of the year. Their 7th year anniversary show coming on December 16th, which you guys can still get tickets to. Don't wait, because it's going to be a sold-out show. The last time we were at the NYC Arena for House of Glory 6, which was their 6th year anniversary show, which featured a fatal 4-way tag team championship match with the Dudleys, the Hardys, Private Party, and EYFBO, or better known as LAX in Impact Wrestling. That was my first month working with House of Glory, getting to call Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys match. Unbelievable, man. That show was sold out. Over 2,000 people fit into that arena. You do not want to wait, because this year it's going to be bigger and better than ever. I don't even know the surprises that they're going to have this year. But I do know that the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, is going to be there, and he's going to be charging $80 for a picture and autograph combo. $50 for a picture or autograph if you guys just want one or the other. So make sure you guys go and check that out, man. But show your boys some love. Leave some encouraging words on the commentary. I do my best and I give my all, and the passion and the dedication is there to doing the best job that I possibly can each and every time I'm behind the microphone, man. So that's HOGWrestling.net. Make sure you guys go check out House of Glory and check out that street fight on their YouTube page, man. It should be the last video that they have up there. It's Sony Strong and Violet. Also, they got Ken Broadway versus Jay White from Ring of Honor, man. So make sure you guys go and check out House of Glory. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for showing support, as always, for the podcast. Yesterday, we talked about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Today, I gotta backtrack on the story because Dave Meltzer can't seem to get his fucking news right. This is Dave Meltzer right here, you see? This is how Dave Meltzer gets his news. The Magic 8 Ball. It's still around. It's still here. Now I gotta backtrack because apparently the bus story in which Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were thrown off a bus or they were complaining on a bus, the whole bus story didn't really happen. Nobody knows what happened. We're gonna be talking about what Dave Meltzer is now talking about. Apparently, he is citing false news from PW Insider. They're probably doing the same thing to Meltzer. Nobody knows what's going on, but we're going to get the news straight. We're going to tell you what the updated information on this Sami Zayn Kevin Owens story is. So we'll go over that today, right here on the podcast. The big story today is talking about Jinder Mahal and the reasons why Jinder Mahal lost the WWE Championship to AJ Styles in Manchester this past Tuesday night on SmackDown Live. We're going to go over all that today right here on Off the Script. I also have news on Asuka and how WWE is planning right now, as of this weekend, to book Asuka at the Survivor Series. Is Jonathan Coachman coming back to the WWE? Emma already asking a ton of money for appearances. What is she charging, and who did she already drive off and say, you know what? She's too expensive. We don't even want her. So Emma already making waves in the independent scene. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, the Bludgeon brothers, are they dead already? We'll talk about that today. And another release in the world of WWE. All that today on episode 195, part number 2 of Off the Script. If you guys missed yesterday's video, it is linked in the annotation that you see within this video in the top right corner of your screen. Make sure you guys go and check that out. If you guys want to be a part of the social media segment, that one is being sponsored by Wrestle Rumble all the way up until Survivor Series weekend. WrestleRumble.com sponsoring the Off the Script social media segment. If you guys want to get in on that, all you got to do is tweet me, man. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. That's your first plan of action. Number 2, tweet me using the hashtag JDOTS. So make sure you guys get in on that if you want to be a part of the social media segment. Something that I don't really go over because I don't really care about it too much. I just put it up there for convenience for others who can't watch the podcast on YouTube because our home is on YouTube.com. But I am on iTunes. I am on Podbean. I am all over other platforms. Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, Google Play, iTunes, obviously being the most important. I don't really talk about it that often. But if you guys prefer to listen to the podcast on iTunes, it is uploaded a little late some weeks because I do forget about it, but it is uploaded every single week for you guys to listen to. Whether you're at work, on the bus, in the car, on the train, wherever you guys are. You guys could be in the living room doing dishes while your wife is watching Total Divas. It doesn't really matter, man. JD is with you everywhere that you are. So if you guys want to get in on that, I would greatly appreciate you guys go visit iTunes if you got a mobile device or if you're on Google Play or other platforms. Mainly iTunes is what I care about, man. Leave me a 5-star rating on there. Let me know how good of a job I'm doing. Let me know what you think of the podcast. We are a 5-star rated podcast on iTunes. I don't know how their rankings work, but I would love if you guys go and visit the iTunes page and just leave a little comment there for me. We have 256 comments. Last I checked, we are still, like I said, a 5-star rated podcast. But if you guys prefer to listen to it on iTunes, it is there for you. So make sure you guys download it, subscribe it. subscribe to it. It's free. When you subscribe to the Off the Script iTunes page, it's automatically downloaded to your device of your choice. So all new episodes automatically will be waiting there for you without you having to do anything, man. So please go and do that. I don't really mention it all that often because YouTube is my #1 priority. I have a schedule to maintain here. But if you guys want to go and check that out, it is readily available for you. Speaking on the t-shirts, man, we do have t-shirts on sale still. As always, barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Connor is working on new designs. I should have the new designs hopefully up within the next 2 weeks. I am looking to get them up before Survivor Series. And that is going to be right before the Black Friday sale, which is the biggest sale for Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window all year. So if you guys want to wait, which I'm assuming most of you are, these are the shirts available right now. Those 2 empty spots will be filled with 2 new designs, a Jinder design and the first ever benched t-shirt. So make sure you guys keep that in your browser history. Make that a favorite on your web browser. It's coming. The Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window Black Friday sale, which is going to be, I believe, upwards towards 25% off, plus other special deals and, first come, first serve special items that you guys can get in on. It's going to be a big deal, man. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so much for all of that. Let's get in on the news, man. We got this Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens story, which I want to just do a quick follow-up on, being that it was yesterday's top story. Rumor killer on the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn talent bus story. Now, there is some false information going around online since it was reported on Wednesday that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were sent home from WWE SmackDown Tour of Europe. On the Wrestling Observer forums, there is a thread on this story, and Dave Meltzer confirmed that Zayn and Owens were sent home for disciplinary reasons, but some of what has been reported is false. Now, I know a lot of other goons in the YWC, they're usually quick to get to the story because they want the views, and they want the ad revenue, and they want the attention on their channel. That's all fine and great. I don't operate like that. I usually wait a day or two to get the story out because you always know that there's going to be more news to that story which hasn't been reported right away. I'd rather give you guys the real deal or somewhat close to the real deal than having what happened here. Everybody reported on the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn talent bus story. Now, Meltzer is citing that the original story that was reported by PW Insider and Mike Johnson about Owens complaining loudly on the talent bus is untrue info. And that is a direct quote from Dave Meltzer. For one, the story of Owens being mad on the tour bus after the tapings isn't accurate, says Meltzer. He was not even on the bus after the tapings. The finish of the match was exactly as it was supposed to be. The post-match is a story that is being different, or told different, depending on how you hear it, but the point is, it's not true. But the thing is this, any other stories are not accurate as it pertains to them being sent home. None of this, he says, has to do with Neville or Jimmy Jacobs. So just to recap, yes, they were sent home, and there seems to be truth to the story about something not going as planned after the Zayn-Kingston match on SmackDown Live, but different people in the company have different takes on what went down. The talent bus story is false, because Owens was not on the bus after the tapings, which makes sense if he was sent home. There would be no reason for Owens and Zayn to be on the talent bus after SmackDown unless they were headed to the next city for the next show. It seems like common sense. I don't know why anybody didn't pick up on that. Like I said, everybody's blinded about getting the story out there. Everybody reporting that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to be done with WWE. That's not happening. That's not happening at all. I am not really here worrying about this story. I don't think this story is really anything too major to be concerning yourself with. I don't think it's going to, lead to anything major. It might have to do with creative, because the one thing that I'm pretty sure we're all in agreement with is that they've been booked kind of shitty following Hell in a Cell, and that's coming for SmackDown Live on Tuesday, where they're going to be booked against the New Day, and I mentioned this yesterday on the show. they're going to be booked against the New Day. The New Day is going to be set up for the Shield. Obviously, you don't want the New Day losing right before they go into the Shield. That's not really going to make them a credible threat at all. I don't find the New Day to be a credible threat for the Shield anyway. But you don't want to have them lose going into a big 3-on-3 tag team match with the Shield. So obviously, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to be fed to the New Day, and then the New Day is going to be fed to the Shield, because I don't see the Shield losing at Survivor Series against the New Day. And that's all but confirmed, which will be when Roman Reigns comes back on Monday night. I'm assuming that. There's already reports that the New Day are going to be on Raw in Atlanta. So something's going to happen. And then on Tuesday, I think Raw is going to invade SmackDown Live. So we'll see what happens with that. But Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the way that they've been booked following Hell in a Cell, and this major heel turn for Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens getting one over on Shane McMahon, it seems like they're going in the opposite direction. It seems like Shane McMahon is getting more ballsy, he's getting stronger, and Kevin Owens is kind of getting weaker coming out of Hell in a Cell. It should be the opposite. It should be the opposite way. Shane McMahon should be the one reeling. Shane McMahon should still be the one hurting here from Hell in a Cell, you know? So they just kind of switch gears where Shane is worrying about Angle and starting this invasion, this siege on Monday Night Raw with Angle, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are just there to be fed for this storyline. So I'm pretty confident in my own assumption here that whatever's going on has to do with them being booked creatively. I don't know if WWE is going to reprimand them. According to Meltzer, that, you know, the Zayn-Kofi Kingston match, which everybody talked about and reported about them not really doing what was supposed to be for the script after the match, that's all untrue. He said the match went down the way it was, or the way it was supposed to be, rather. So I really don't know what's going on. But Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're not leaving WWE. They're not being fired from WWE. They're not walking out of WWE. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have been positioned for the last month as the biggest story on SmackDown Live. WWE is just not going to get rid of them. They're not going to fire Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Why the fuck would Vince McMahon fire Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? That would be the most boneheaded move of the year. And there's been a lot of boneheaded moves in WWE. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. So we'll see what happens with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I don't want to report too much on it because we really don't know. If I have to make a guess, like I said, it's them being unhappy with creative. They were sent home for something. Maybe there was an argument backstage, but I don't see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn being those two guys that are hard to work with. So something really must have rubbed them the wrong way, or something must have happened before SmackDown Live for them to be sent home after the show. And I'm guessing it's having to do with creative. Because we really never heard anything as far as that from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So something obviously must have bothered them to the point where they got sent home. It's always one of two things. It's either cash or creative, like Jim Ross always states. This time I'm thinking it's creative. We'll see what happens on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and this rumor about them being reprimanded and sent home. But other than that, unless you hear it from a Ryan Satin or a Justin LaBar or someone along those lines, someone with credible history as it pertains to WWE news and rumors, James McKenna from Pro Wrestling Sheet, then really don't hold any of these other sites, you know, to what they say. Because there's always some bullshit floating around out there. And I try my best here to give you guys the most accurate news possible. That's why I really didn't report on the Emma situation the night that it happened. I wanted to find out why Emma was released, and that's exactly what I did. Obviously, I talked about Emma being released and my thoughts on it and my thoughts on her and what WWE did as far as dropping the ball with Emma. But I really didn't report on it fully until the news story came out as to why she was really released, which was, you know, the whole Emmalina thing and dating back to Emmalina. Vince McMahon putting all his resources into that one character, a creation of his, which she didn't really put all her heart into. So we talked about that. I'm going to do the same thing here, man. I'm not really going to talk about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn anymore because we really don't know. We'll find out what happens on Tuesday. They are going to be on SmackDown Live Tuesday. We'll just take it week by week here. And they are going to have a major role. The storyline is setting them up for a major role at Survivor Series. They're not booked for Survivor Series. They're not booked for the show. So there's only one way to book them. To fuck over SmackDown Live at Survivor Series. So we'll see what happens with that. Anything else credible from a credible source, I will let you guys know right here on the podcast. Jonathan Coachman. Is he returning to the WWE? Former WWE ring announcer Jonathan Coachman announced on Thursday that he is no longer with ESPN. Who the fuck still watches ESPN anyway, man? I used to watch ESPN back in the day when I was big into my baseball, which we talked about yesterday on the show, where we went over the tragic death, the sad death of Toronto Blue Jays pitcher, Philadelphia Phillies pitcher Roy Halladay, who was the victim of a plane crash flying towards the Gulf of Mexico. He was 40 years old. I talked about my history and my love for baseball and how I got into baseball on yesterday's show. If you guys want to go check that out. Who the fuck watches ESPN anymore, man? You know, I used to watch ESPN to see the highlights of my game when I was working and I couldn't watch the game. And, you know, ESPN really never covered anything outside of a major market. It was always the major markets that they just, you know, dick rode every single week. And then as soon as MLB Network came up, that's when I started saying, you know what, fuck ESPN, man. Who the fuck watches ESPN anymore? ESPN is trash. So we don't know what is going on with Coachman, but apparently ESPN had a massive round of budget cuts a few months ago, and Coachman just disappeared from ESPN programming around the time when a bunch of their anchors were let go. Also, the weekly WWE segment on ESPN was dropped shortly before the releases. On Twitter, Jonathan Coachman tweeted out, and you can see here, he says that he has several projects in the works, and he cannot discuss it. He will discuss it when he will. But it was just time to leave ESPN, professional and personal reasons. But I feel great, and this show is for fun and to stay sharp. So Coachman has been going live on Periscope via Twitter. He's been going live there, but someone asked him if he's going to be back on TV soon. He says yes, he will be. And then the follow-up to that was, well, I hope you change your name from the Coach ESPN to the Coach WWE. And then he replied with, I'd love to see Jonathan Coachman back on WWE programming, because the anchors that they got there now, or the backstage interviews that they got there now, have absolutely no personality whatsoever, man. Dasha Fuentes is fucking garbage. My God. You could put a cardboard cutout in her place, and it would have more personality than Dasha Fuentes. Christy St. Cloud is another one on NXT. We rag on her on NXT review if you guys missed that. She is god-awful. I don't know where she came from, but her facial expressions are absolutely cringe-inducing. I don't know whether she doesn't know what she's talking about. She sounds overly scripted. She gives this fucking ridiculous smile. Johnny Gargano just lost the fucking match to Fabian Eichner, and she's smiling over there. Where do you go from here, Johnny? Sympathize with the fucking guy. He just lost the match. He's been on a losing streak. You're there, you know, just smiling and fucking coming off as the most scripted loser I've ever seen. I don't understand it, dude. Put me in one of those positions. You'll get more of an organic reaction. The only one that has an organic reaction and an organic feel to her is Renee Young. And I don't understand that. Why can't everybody model themselves after what Renee Young does? It's like, oh, I am here to interview Dean Ambrose. Dean, how do you feel about being chokeslammed by Kane 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw? That's what they sound like. I don't get it. At least if you have Coachman back on Monday Night Raw, he's got a personality that's enjoyable. He's fun to watch. He's got charisma. He's funny, you know? At least you'll have that male and female dynamic in Coachman and in Renee Young. Everybody else is just fucking ridiculous. I don't get how WWE just overly scripts these personalities and they're okay with it. They're just okay with it. It makes for terrible television. Terrible television. If someone was walking in and someone seen me watching a fucking Dasha Fuentes backstage interview on Monday Night Raw, and they seen that and the way she sounds, I would be embarrassed to be watching Monday Night Raw. Even with Christy St. Cloud, like, what the fuck is this? She's as big as a fucking cloud and she's got no personality. Awful, awful, awful. WWE, man, you gotta stop holding everybody's hand. These are human beings. They're human beings with real emotions and real personalities, I think. What are you trying to make everybody a fucking robot, an android? It's bad enough we got fucking Charlotte. Now they're modeling everybody after Charlotte. Horrible, man. Absolutely fucking terrible. Moving on here, man. Coachman gonna return to the WWE. I hope he would add a nice little dash of something fresh to Monday Night Raw. And we all know Monday Night Raw needs something fresh. Moving on here, man. Josh Bredl. If you guys remember him, I'm not sure if you do. He was the Yeti from Tough Enough. The Yeti. WWE's releases continue. Josh Bredl has been released. Aww. I'm so heartbroken over the Yeti being released. According to his post on Facebook, Bredl was named Bronson Matthews after being signed following his stint on the Tough Enough series in 2015. Several months ago, people have been inquiring about his status, and he was not being used on shows because of concussion issues. Believed to have suffered during his days as a defensive end and defensive tackle for the Colorado Thunderwolves at Colorado State University. He only worked a handful of matches last year, and the last time he worked was almost a year and a half ago. Bredl has deleted all references to Bronson Matthews from his name on social media. As if anybody cares. The guy won a $250,000 contract from Tough Enough. $250,000 for a reality series on WWE. And then he's got the balls. I don't know if you guys remember this. He was watching Raw one night, and I believe, I don't know who it was. I think it was the Social Outcasts with Heath Slater, and I think it was Adam Rose and Bo Dallas. The social jobbers, I think he mentioned them being, or the social losers, or something like that. He called them jobbers. Pretty much he called them jobbers. So obviously, you know, people in WWE, the members of the Raw roster, seeing that, they all jumped on him for it. Cody Rhodes at the time, seeing it when he was there with WWE. He says, "How dare you? You'll never share a locker room with us. You know, stay in your lane. It's called something called respect," or something along those lines. I don't remember who jumped on his case for it or what they said to him. But, I mean, to say something like that when you're in the position of pretty much being gifted a $250,000 contract to, you know, have fun in the Performance Center every fucking week and be paid to train and become a WWE superstar with that type of monetary backing, you know, you gotta shut your fucking mouth, dude. You're lucky that you're in the position that you're in. Those shows were overly scripted. WWE, I believe, wanted him to win out of all the guys, and that's exactly what happened. He won the contest. It's all scripted reality television. WWE wants someone to win, they're gonna push for someone to win. They gave this guy $250,000, and then he's got the balls to come back and watch the product for the company that he's working for and call his future locker room mates jobbers? I could call people jobbers because I'm not working for the WWE. I'm here to give my opinion on storyline and character development and what WWE should be doing. But I would not talk about my peers and colleagues if I was employed by WWE and call them fucking losers. Come on, man. This guy was training to be a WWE superstar and calls his colleagues losers. Absolutely ridiculous. Guy was expendable to the fucking very last letter. The very definition of the word expendable is Josh Bredl. Done. I don't know what he's doing. I know he moved to Florida with his wife and his kid. He was all excited about being a WWE superstar. Now, I hope he has a plan B, because he's not with the company anymore. Josh Bredl released from the WWE. I'm sure you're not missing him or even realized who he was until I just mentioned him here on the podcast. The Bludgeon Brothers. How many of you are excited about the Bludgeon Brothers coming to WWE television? I'm excited to see Luke Harper. I don't really give a shit about Eric Rowan. But I think Eric Rowan paired with Luke Harper gives Eric Rowan an outlet to do something good. Eric Rowan on his own, I really didn't care for. Nobody gave a shit about Eric Rowan, but pairing them together is the best thing. I don't know why they were ever broken away from Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt always operates better under a cult-like mentality when he has followers and he is a leader of a group. That worked. I don't know why WWE ever went away from that. Not like they were doing favors to the Wyatt family anyway. They're not doing favors to Bray Wyatt. They weren't doing it then. They're not doing it now. Luke Harper was given an opportunity to get over on his own. He did. People were chanting Harper. People were turning the other cheek on Luke Harper. He was a heel. Then he became a babyface. People wanted to see Luke Harper. They appreciate the athleticism Luke Harper has. They appreciate how talented Luke Harper is in the ring. They wanted to see more of Luke Harper coming out of the Wyatt family just gimmick. You know, when he was with Bray and with Randy Orton, he came out of that as a babyface. One of Randy Orton's best matches this year was with Luke Harper at the Elimination Chamber. If Randy Orton has one thing that sticks out about his 2017, it's the Luke Harper match at Elimination Chamber. Randy Orton hasn't done anything else this year that really sticks out to me. That match still, in November, sticks out to me. That's a testament to A, how good Randy Orton is, B, how good Luke Harper is. I want to see more of Luke Harper. Luke Harper was being positioned to ultimately be put in the Randy Orton-Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania 33, making it a triple threat match, which would have made the match, depending on what we've seen, you know, you guys seen what you seen at WrestleMania 33, it was absolutely embarrassing. 9 minutes of a waste of time. Nothing but CGI worms and spiders and fucking maggots above the ring. As if I'm supposed to believe, what am I watching? A scene from the ring, or am I watching a WWE Championship match? I can't tell anymore. WWE should have included Luke Harper in that match, making it a triple threat match. The WWE Championship match at WrestleMania always seems to be the short end of the stick. I don't understand why. At least adding Luke Harper to that would have made it competitive. It would have made it a little bit more intriguing. All three former Wyatt family members feuding over the WWE Championship. Randy wanting to get one over on Bray, turning his back on Bray. Luke Harper, you know, kind of realizing that he knew Randy Orton was a turncoat this entire time, but Bray didn't believe him because he sided with Randy Orton because Randy Orton's the bigger name. Luke, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That was good storytelling. WWE abruptly ended it, and they didn't do anything with Luke Harper. Luke Harper started to get over on his own, and then they just ultimately took him off television for no reason. How are you going to put him in a high-profile match with Randy Orton and then put him in a high-profile storyline when he's feuding over the WWE Championship and then ultimately come to a decision one week? Yeah, he's not ready for it. What? How is he not ready for it if the fans are asking for Luke? If the fans want to see something, more times than not, it's the right thing. Yeah, but the fans are the heartbeat. The fans are the pulse of the product. This is all we hear. We listen to our fans. Obviously, you didn't. Guy's been taken off television, and now he's stuck with a gimmick in which he looks like a member of Amon Amarth. Sledgehammers, he looks like he just came off a Viking ship. This is Ascension 2.0. That's where it's going. I don't know whether people are going to laugh or embrace this new gimmick. WWE really hasn't done anything to push tag team wrestling on SmackDown Live. So how's it going to get over? These guys are going to come out on week 1, and then they'll be doing Fashion Files with Breezango and Ascension. Guarantee it. Apparently the gimmick may already be dead by WWE. They may have already ended the gimmick. According to a new report from Aaron Rift of No DQ, take it with a grain of salt, the Bludgeon brothers may be no more. The team of Luke Harper and Eric Rowan recently re-emerged under the new tag team name and the gimmick, which involved them carrying around large hammers and smashing them down in the woods. It even involved more speaking for both former Wyatt family members and seems to be leading to their first feud with Tyler Breeze and Fandango. The duo of Harper and Rowan are on the European tour right now for SmackDown Live. You know, the same tour that apparently Kevin Owens was consistently bitching on a tour bus. That tour. Quote unquote, consistently bitching or constantly moaning and groaning in the back of a tour bus. However, when the team recently made their entrance at a live event, fans in attendance didn't see them in their new Bludgeon Brothers gear. Instead, a fan tweeted photos of them coming to the ring in their Wyatt family clothing using Luke Harper's old theme song. This has led some to believe that their new tag team gimmick may have ended abruptly. It would be strange if this is the case, with the duo just recently appearing on Tuesday's SmackDown Live in a vignette and a storyline sort of lingering on SmackDown Live where they are the possible attackers for Breezango on the Fashion Files. It could still lead to some sort of feud, but it may be Harper and Rowan rather than the Bludgeon Brothers taking on Breeze and Fandango on the card. I am not going to really hold this story as truthful right now. I don't know why WWE would do that to Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. I mean, they kept them off television all this time to ultimately give them almost a month of television time with vignettes and then ultimately just end it. Why? We haven't seen what they could do. Everybody was, there was some fan report saying that their new theme music was fucking great. Killswitch Engage, I reported yesterday, was writing a theme song for WWE talent. That might have been it. We don't know. The Bludgeon Brothers hasn't even appeared on television yet. They were on SmackDown Live in a vignette. But now, No DQ is reporting that fans in attendance are under the assumption that the gimmick is dead because they didn't come out in their Bludgeon Brothers gear. Why would they? Maybe WWE is saving it for television. Maybe they want to give the fans in Manchester or wherever they are in Europe touring, maybe they want to give the fans there something that they are familiar with. Maybe they didn't want Luke Harper and Eric Rowan going out there getting no reaction with his new gimmick. I don't know. I'm going to sit here and tell you, maybe WWE did the right thing by not debuting the Bludgeon Brothers on the European tour. Maybe they wanted to give the fans something that they are familiar with seeing. And they're saving it for television. Simple as that. I don't know what else to tell you. It would make absolutely no sense for them to just kill the gimmick after they were just on SmackDown Live on Tuesday. No sense. Maybe they're saving it for television. Maybe this means that there are plans for the Bludgeon Brothers. I hope. Tag team wrestling could certainly use a kick in the ass on SmackDown Live. Harper and Rowan operate good under a tag team environment rather than separately. Because Harper would be good, but Rowan would be shit out of luck. Why would you want to waste talent like that? Their best use right now is together. I'm interested in giving these guys a chance. Yes, they look like Vikings. Yes, they look like the Ascension 2.0. Yeah, they look like a throwback to some old team, some knockoff team in WWE back in the day. But maybe this is what these guys need. Maybe this is what the tag team division needs. We need ass kickers in that division. We need someone who people are going to take seriously. That was the Ascension, and WWE fucked them up. Now they're nothing but comedy skit after comedy skit. The longest reigning NXT tag team champions of all time. You got the Ascension. They had the look, they had the gimmick, they had the entrance, they had the music. Everybody loved the Ascension down there. Remember when the Ascension made their last appearance at NXT, how welcomed they were? Because people know what they're capable of doing. I mean, just take a look at fucking Connor. Connor is a monster of a man. Then you got Victor, who's the scrappy young guy, the scrappy smaller guy, who can be a pest, and then you got the muscle behind him in Connor. How can't you get behind a team like that? That reeked of old school. How these guys are booked one way in NXT to look so dominating, and then after 1 month, they're embarrassed and they're never able to recover. I want to give the Bludgeon Brothers a chance. Yes, it does look like the Ascension 2.0. Yes, it looks ridiculous. But at least these guys are being used. I'd rather them see them with some silly gimmick on my television that at least I have an opportunity to warm up to than not seeing Luke Harper at all. I want to see Luke Harper. I'm going to sit here and tell you that I think WWE is just giving the fans in Europe what they are familiar with, instead of giving them something that could fail ultimately. And then if they were to debut live and people did not receive it well, or WWE put these guys out there and got a reaction that they didn't want, then we'd have a greater chance of this being canceled. So the fact that they did not appear live with this gimmick at least has the gimmick staying around for a little bit longer. Let it fail on live television. Let the audience live on SmackDown determine whether they want to see it or not. Don't base it off what happens in Europe. They're there for a week. You know, nothing that happens there is going to have any direct effect on television the following weeks. So we'll see what happens. Bludgeon Brothers, I'm going to give it a chance. I think it's still going to be around. We'll see what happens on Tuesday. If we see another vignette on Tuesday like we've been seeing, clearly, no DQ and Aaron Rift got the report wrong. Emma's asking price has already driven off the Stardom promotion. Listen to this. I don't mind people going out there and making their money. Listen, honey, go make your money. You know? Never shortchange yourself. I'm telling you right now. If you think you are worth something, then God damn it, you go make your fucking money. But Emma's asking price has already driven off one of the world's top female promotions. I don't know how smart of a business move that was. Emma's WWE release came with a 90-day no-compete clause, but that means she'll be a free agent to take bookings in 2018, February. Therefore, it might be possible to catch Emma in a town near you on the amazing modern-day indie wrestling circuit soon enough. House of Glory. I hope. I love to call an Emma match. I'd put over Emma more than WWE did in fucking 3 years. But the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports one deal Emma was negotiating with was with Stardom in Japan. That has already fallen through. Apparently Emma's demands were just too much for Stardom to give her. Apparently Emma's demands were $2,000 per match plus first-class airfare and creative control. $2,000 per match, I could see that happening. I could see that being something that she could get. But first-class airfare and then creative control? Emma Honey, I think you went a little bit overboard with the demands there. Are you Jennifer Lopez or are you Emma, former WWE superstar and one of the women who started the women's revolution? Which are you? Don't become a Jennifer Lopez, bro. Okay? The $2,000 per match, fine. She's worth that. She's worth that for sure. And I'm sure she'll be able to prove that almost instantaneously on the independent circuit. But first-class airfare for everywhere you go, and then creative control over your character. Who the fuck do you think you are? Hulk Hogan? What, Emma thinks she's Hulk Hogan now? Emma thinks she's Stone Cold Steve Austin? The Rock? What the fuck is this? Creative control. Get the fuck out of here, man. I don't blame Stardom for turning her down. You know? Go out there and make your money. Never shortchange yourself. But asking for creative control over your character in a promotion that you never wrestled in before? At least get your fucking feet wet. Make some friends. Make some colleagues. Show them that you're there and that you're willing to work and make the promotion better. Already asking for first-class airfare and creative control. You know? I don't even know who in Stardom has creative control. Why would they give Emma, because she's a WWE superstar, creative control? You know? Maybe they operate under the logic of, we want everybody to remain equal here. You know? Not one women wrestler or woman wrestler is greater than the other. They're going to bring in outside talent and they're going to give Emma all this and they're going to propel her to be better than everybody else already. That's a bad image. Not going to bring in somebody else and say, yeah, we're going to pay this one $2,000, give her airfare and creative control, but the top champion and who is it? Tony Storm. I was going to say Nikki Cross. Tony Storm, she's their top champion, right? She's their top performer. How you gonna just come in there and just kind of shit all over your champion? Come on, man. Emma's asking price was fine. The first-class airfare and the creative control probably are what said, we'll discuss details some other time. But go on and do your thing. Now's not the right time. Stardom hosts some of the top female talents in Japan, and they're always looking for new stars to bring in. Someone like Emma might do very well in Stardom. Wherever she goes, Emma won't be allowed to use her WWE name, of course. She'll go back to her real name, Tennille Dashwood, if I pronounced that correctly, when she sets off on her own. But that is if she can find a place willing to pay her what she's asking. I know Ryback was asking for what? $25,000, $3,000, upwards towards $3,500 per appearance. If Emma's asking for $2,000, I'd rather see fucking Emma than Ryback. You know? If Ryback could be asking for that money, then Emma could be asking for that type of money too. So she's going to have to find a place that's going to be willing to pay her what she's asking. Emma's participation would be a big shot in the arm for any promotion because she has considerable following, despite how little chance WWE gave her. After all, the hashtag Hire Emma didn't become a thing for no reason. So Emma's asking price has already driven off the Stardom promotion, man. I don't know. As long as she don't go to Impact Wrestling. Because they're garbage. I got news on Impact Wrestling tomorrow. Apparently they're paying people to attend their tapings because nobody gives a shit. And they're moving out of Nashville. They're actually relocating to Canada. Goodbye. Nobody gives a shit. Speculation on plans for Asuka at the Survivor Series. Oh, JD, where's the Jinder Mahal news, man? It's coming. It's coming. Why do I do what I do? Because I want you guys to watch the show. You know? You guys can skip along and skip ahead. You guys are going to watch the show for the Jinder Mahal news. It's at the end. We got other stories I wanted to get out of the way. Speculation on plans for Asuka at Survivor Series. You guys know, I've talked about this all week, how I would book Asuka at Survivor Series. No need for me to go over everything once again for you guys. But Asuka needs to be the sole survivor at Survivor Series, no question. But Asuka was named a member of Team Raw for the women's elimination match at Survivor Series. As a result, she will be joining Alicia Fox, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax on Team Red. One more member to be named. Monday Night Raw just booked a match for Monday night. It is Bayley versus, what's her name? Oh, Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke and Mickie James. The final spot going to the woman who wins that match, and that woman will go on to the women's match at Survivor Series. I said it just a couple of weeks ago. Imagine Dana Brooke getting the 5th spot. Now, I don't think WWE is that stupid. But Bayley's going to get the spot. I'm hoping. Now, some speculation on Asuka being in the match at Survivor Series and what it could lead to. The theory from fans, after Asuka was announced as a member of the team, was that this seems to guarantee Raw a win. Yes. Yes, I don't mind that. I don't mind it being predictable as long as you take the predictability and use it and do well with it. I don't mind it. So this is something that I do not mind. If it's predicted that Raw will win because Asuka's on the team and they don't want to have Asuka to lose in any way, and I mean no way, no count out, no DQ, no pin, clearly no pinfall, Asuka should not be losing in any way or being eliminated in any way. Hopefully WWE, we don't know because these people are fucking retarded. There's no way that I see right now Asuka losing by taking her first pinfall loss in an elimination Survivor Series match. They built her up for so long to just throw it away like that? No way. You never know though, but no way. That means that she will likely be the sole survivor of Team Raw, helping them with the victory. I wonder where you heard that one. If it's too obvious, WWE could go another route. WWE could still eliminate Asuka, but protect her in the process. No. Sorry. No. In last year's Survivor Series elimination match, Kevin Owens was disqualified after using the List of Jericho as a weapon. I got news on Jericho tomorrow, by the way. What did Vince McMahon think of Jericho and Omega? And is Jericho still under WWE deal? We'll talk about it. Kevin Owens was disqualified for using the List of Jericho as a weapon. As a result, he was eliminated from the match, but it didn't take a pinfall to do so. This is a route that WWE could potentially go with Asuka if they want SmackDown to win. SmackDown should not win. Raw is clearly the most dominating team because of Asuka. Raw should win. Yes, predictable, but like I said, take that predictability and apply great storyline and build for Asuka. Simple. Asuka will either lead Raw to victory or they will heavily protect her by not having her pinned. Asuka will be, this is my prediction, Asuka will be the last member of Team Raw. She will go up against Becky, Naomi, and Natalya, eliminating all three. It's going to come down to Becky and Asuka. Simple. Charlotte, according to sources yesterday, like I reported on part 1 of Off the Script, Charlotte may be beating Natalya for the title, and Charlotte may be the one to go on and challenge Alexa Bliss at Survivor Series, which presents a more intriguing and attractive match. Natalya then will be moved down a slot to the Survivor Series team, and she will be a part of Team SmackDown. So that's why I mentioned Natalya, Becky, and Naomi. Asuka needs to be booked to eliminate all three. It's not going to do anything to devalue those three women because it's Asuka, right? But Asuka needs to be the sole survivor. And how that comes to be is because everyone on Raw should be reluctant about teaming with Asuka. They made a big deal about Asuka's hype and Asuka's debut, right? They don't want anything to do with Asuka. They don't want Asuka stealing their thunder. They worked too hard on this Raw women's division for this women's revolution for Asuka to come in there and steal all their thunder. Nia, Sasha, Bayley. Give Bayley some balls here. Knowing Bayley, she might end up fucking hugging Asuka at the end of the fucking night. Bayley could get eliminated and then go and hug Asuka. Get the fuck off of me, man. They don't want anything to do with Asuka. They don't want Asuka stealing their thunder. Asuka never receives a tag, ever, in the match, until she's the last one. That's it. And then she's got Becky, Naomi, and Natalya staring her down. Done. That's the way I'd book it. That's the way I'd book it for sure. Survivor Series. Asuka, sole survivor, leading Raw to victory at the Survivor Series. It's not that difficult, people. It's not that difficult. Asuka is special. WWE has something special in Asuka. I hope that they don't dwindle it down to basically nothing. I can't stand when WWE has something so fucking special in their grasps and they don't know what to do with it. Give me the women's division. I'll book it and make it watchable every single week. You got to give me women to work with, though. Seriously. Asuka should be the easiest thing to fucking get across on WWE television. Oh, my God.
The make-believe Maharaja.
It's time! It's time to talk about the failure known as the ex-WWE champion. Jinder Mahal addresses the wellness policy violation and injury rumors following loss to AJ Styles. Do I have his tweet on here? I don't even think I have. Let me see. Yes, I do. There you go. Jinder Mahal. I didn't have it on my stream deck here, but I have it on my OBS. There you go. Clearly, veins popping out of arms and veins popping out of every which way. The guy looks like a genetic freak. The guy clearly is on some type of illegal substance. If you hear it from anybody else, they are absolutely in denial, and they're probably sucking Jinder's cock. The guy is on an illegal substance. I know, because that is not normal. That is not normal. Jinder Mahal lost the WWE Championship on Tuesday to AJ Styles. Thank Christ. AJ Styles became the biggest superhero in all the land. Greater than Batman, greater than Superman, greater than The Flash, greater than the Incredible Hulk, the Fantastic Four, Gambit, anybody else that you want to throw in there, Mega Man, Iron Man, War Machine, Spider-Man, greater than them all. AJ Styles is a superhero to each and every one of us. Why? Because Jinder Mahal was on a reign of terror for 6 months and counting. Undeservedly so. And AJ said, fuck this shit. I am tired of my people suffering every single week. Jinder Mahal took to Instagram, as you see here, to detract all the podcasts, all the dirt sheets, all the naysayers and all the haters about him being suspended, about him being injured, about him not really drawing in India. To AJ Styles, you were the better man for one night. No, sorry, Jinder, he was the better man for pretty much the length of your wrestling career. 6 months I held the WWE Championship. Hashtag WWE Championship. Defended it countless times all over the world. I will one day raise the title again. God, I hope not. What is worse than Jinder Mahal? Jinder Mahal, a two-time WWE champion. To my haters and wrestling insiders, this was not an experiment. Oh my God.
The make-believe Maharaja.
Not an experiment, he says. I'm not injured, which I know he's not because he wrestled a 25-minute match on SmackDown Live. I have not violated the wellness policy. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So keep throwing shade my way. It only motivates me. I would love to see the fucking comment from this grinding 21. Worst champion I ever see. I've been watching WWE for over 20 years. I truly lost interest the whole time you held the championship. And look at this guy, Shadow WWE. You have done a great job, Raj. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Jinder's a fucking failure. Guy is an absolute fucking failure, dude. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I should bring back a social media comments just going over Jinder comments, man. I think that would get over pretty well, don't you think? Anyway, Jinder Mahal is no longer the WWE champion. If you think that's hard news for you to swallow, the modern day Maharaja lost the title, deservedly so. And the 1.3 billion people in India are heartbroken. It's a rather interesting turn of events because Mahal was set to take on Brock Lesnar at the Survivor Series. But now, that match has apparently been changed. And they had new graphics already for the match before SmackDown Live even went on the air for AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar. But why did WWE decide to take the title off Jinder Mahal? That is the question still looming on everybody's mind. Some say Jinder Mahal is working hurt because his shoulder has been taped up with kinesio tape rather well during live shows, although he hasn't really sported the kinesio tape on live television, so he doesn't look weak. Why doesn't he support the kinesio tape? Because it covers up all the illegal muscles that he has bulging out of his fucking arms and his chest. He doesn't want to take away from that fake-looking, experimental, Resident Evil type nemesis fucking science experiment body that he's got. It's like Jinder's fucking soul was given a new fucking body, you know? Like one day he just shows up like looking like Jinder Mahal like we seen a year ago, and then all of a sudden 1 year, less than a year turnaround, this guy was given a new fucking body. You know, he's like some fucking alien creature from a different fucking universe. It doesn't look normal. It doesn't look normal. Even people like Ryback, who he himself, I'm sure, is taking illegal substances, or was at least when he was with WWE, right? Ryback, of all people, stated that Jinder Mahal, something doesn't look right. This guy's clearly on something, and he's giving you, things to look for as far as body type and like pimples on his back and the way his nipples look and the way his arms look. He was giving you descriptive, features about Mahal's body that, it doesn't look too right there, buddy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Then again, Mahal told ESPN that he was fine and wasn't working injured at all. I never thought Jinder was injured. There was a possibility that he was injured, but after Tuesday night, he's not injured. He's not injured at all. So that takes that off the list. Jinder also worked all the dates on the European tour, which is something WWE would have typically done, if he was good, but he wasn't hurt, so WWE let him work. They wouldn't let a hurt WWE champion work all the dates. So, that's that. He could always win his title back in front of his people when WWE tours India in December. Now, that doesn't make sense to me. A lot of people are trying to burst my bubble and rain on my parade and rain on my happiness that this guy's no longer WWE champion. Everybody, before the fucking show even aired, and I tweeted out, which got over 1,000 likes on Twitter, JD, don't get too excited. He's going to win the title back in India. That doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense when you guys blew up my Twitter with it then, and it doesn't make sense today. Why, or what difference would it make if WWE wanted to keep Jinder as the WWE champion? Why would they take the title off him only to have him win it back in India? It doesn't make sense. I would rather have him be the champion, walk into India, defeat the vile threat that he's looking at in the ring, and then emerge as champion. Why is he going to walk into India, a defeated loser, and then win the championship in India? What is that going to accomplish? It will accomplish nothing. It's like you're running around in a circle. He would have achieved the same result if he walked in as champion compared to if he wins the championship in India. It's the same fucking result. It makes no sense for him to win the WWE championship off of television in India. Doesn't make any sense. So, I don't think that's the reason either. Certainly, it's on the table for WWE to do. It wouldn't be the first time that they've done that. But I don't think that is what the reason is. The idea that AJ Styles might be getting a thank you gift from WWE is also a possibility that people talked about. When he dropped everything and left South America in order to fly to Minneapolis to take on Finn Balor at TLC, it took a lot of effort. But Styles was more than willing to do it. That goes to show you that AJ Styles is a true company man, Reigns. It's an interesting situation and could have been based on several different reasons. From trying to sell more tickets to live shows to simply needing to give Jinder a break. WWE might have made the title switch for multiple reasons. But for one thing, it makes the match against Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series much more interesting. After all, AJ Styles vs. Brock Lesnar is one of those dream matches that people have been fantasy booking for a long time, and it's finally going to happen in Houston, Texas. There's more to the story. I'm not done yet, people. The fact that WWE could be giving AJ Styles a thank you. You know, thank yous do go a long way, but when has WWE ever really given somebody a deserved thank you? And do you honestly think that WWE was going to build Jinder Mahal up all this time and just sacrifice everything that they threw in front of him? Sacrificing Orton, sacrificing Nakamura of all fucking people, sacrificing our fucking viewership on SmackDown Live, ruining our Tuesdays every single week this guy came out as champion. Terrible promos with Nakamura, just sacrificing so much for Jinder Mahal. You think, can you honestly think, it's a nice gesture, I wish a company would actually do that for their employees, but do you honestly sit here and watch me and think that WWE gave a thank you WWE Championship reign now to AJ Styles over Jinder Mahal for everything that he's done? I want to believe it, but I don't believe it. I don't think that's the reason at all. Brian Alvarez mentioned on Wrestling Observer Radio that someone from India contacted him months ago to say that there were advertisements in India calling Mahal a two-time WWE champion. Dave Meltzer responded by saying that the ad would play no part since the decision to change the title was made only a week ago. Meltzer says that the people who need to know in WWE literally found out about this title change this week. It's probably having to do on Sunday or Monday that they found out. Meltzer himself says that he didn't know the title change was going to happen until the morning of SmackDown. Also, Meltzer mentioned that the original plan was absolutely for Jinder to go into the India shows as champion. There is still a chance that they could put the belt back on him in India, but AJ currently isn't scheduled for the tour, which holds out hope that AJ is not going to be on the tour and the WWE Championship is not going to be defended. So for those people telling me and trying to rain on my parade that AJ is going to drop the title in India, AJ is not scheduled for that tour. WWE is going to be there. I'm sure it's going to be both Raw and SmackDown. AJ is not going to be on that tour, according to Dave Meltzer. I'm hoping that is true. And if that is the case, AJ is not going to be losing the WWE Championship. Yet, at least. There will likely be more details over the next few days, but all indications seem that this was a last-minute decision by WWE, especially since AJ was originally scheduled to face Rusev on SmackDown Live for the 5th spot on Team SmackDown. Something certainly seems to have changed Vince McMahon's mind. The big title change at the end of this week's episode on SmackDown Live had fans buzzing because it changes Survivor Series dramatically, because it was a rare title change on their weekly television show, something that we hardly ever see. There was some chatter on social media with fans wondering if Mahal dropped the title because he was dealing with an injury or because he failed a drug test. That's when Mahal posted on Twitter. And as you guys can see here, let me pull it back up again for you guys if you guys missed it before. That is Mahal there on social media on his Instagram page, calling out everybody, saying that he's not injured. I have not violated wellness policy, so keep throwing shade my way. This is not an experiment. It only motivates me. Moving on from that, the other theory going around is that WWE decided to have Mahal drop the title so they can win it back in India. Whatever the real reason is, it's hard to argue that Survivor Series seems like a bigger deal now because of the recent changes. WWE's about to stack the card even more with another match. Shield versus New Day. That is going to be announced on Monday Night Raw. Now, before we get into the last piece of news here about AJ Styles and Jinder Mahal. Honestly, everything that I read, you can make assumptions. You could say this, you could say that. You could say WWE did it as a thank you. You could say WWE wants Jinder to win it back in India. You could say the ratings have been low. Whatever the reason is. Okay? WWE knew that AJ Styles was going to be the next in line to challenge Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. They just facilitated this and sped things up about a month. Okay? WWE knew. And this is my reason behind it. WWE knew that Survivor Series was fucking terrible. I mean, look at the original card that was announced for Survivor Series. Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar. We have rumors going around that Finn Balor is going to be the one to challenge Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble, right? How can it be believable for WWE to book a match like that? How could it be believable for Finn Balor and any of his offense to get one over on Brock Lesnar? It's not going to happen. Same thing's going to happen with Jinder. Same thing would have happened with Jinder. Same thing's going to happen to AJ Styles. There's only one move that AJ Styles can do to Brock Lesnar to at least try and attempt to win that match at Survivor Series. AJ is a much larger guy than Finn Balor. He's not larger than Jinder Mahal for obvious reasons, but he's the much larger of the two compared to Finn Balor. I believe a little bit more in AJ than I do in Finn Balor. The phenomenal forearm is the only move that AJ Styles has in his repertoire that can do anything against Brock Lesnar. Finn Balor has nothing. He has nothing. He's 185 pounds soaking wet. He'd be snapped like a fucking graham cracker in the middle of the ring. Jinder Mahal has no moves in his repertoire. Yeah, he's taller than Brock Lesnar. What is he, about 6'7"? But that doesn't mean he's going to get the one up on Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's a fucking beast. Brock Lesnar would take him down and it's game over. So nobody that they throw in front of Brock Lesnar is going to be believable. And that includes Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns doesn't even have a move in his repertoire that I believe could take out Brock Lesnar. AJ Styles has the Superman, not the Superman punch, the phenomenal forearm. So you got me talking about Roman Reigns, I'm talking about fucking Superman. AJ Styles is Superman after what he did on Tuesday night. AJ Styles is not going to get the Styles Clash on Brock Lesnar. That would be another move, but he's not going to get Brock Lesnar up in the Styles Clash. I doubt that highly. So, the reason why WWE took the title of Jinder Mahal, in my honest opinion, is because they knew Survivor Series was a piece of shit. Compared to what NXT is doing at War Games, Survivor Series was a piece of shit. Jinder versus Brock. You only had one match in the Shield versus the Usos that was generating any buzz. That was a match I would have loved to see. And I still want to see it. Somewhere down the line. Alexa versus Natalya. Miz versus Corbin. These matches are trash. And WWE rectifying their mistake, because they had no original plans going forward and they're booking everything on the fly week to week. They're changing the show. The Bar now will go against the Usos. Now you got the Shield coming out of that match with the Usos, and they're going to be put in a match, a six-man tag with the New Day. That makes the show better. I don't give a shit about it, but it makes the show better. Then you got Alexa Bliss versus Natalya. WWE's booking Charlotte to probably win the title on SmackDown Live from Natalya. Going to give us Natalya in the Survivor Series match instead of Charlotte, and they're going to give us Charlotte versus Alexa Bliss. That's much better than Natalya versus Alexa Bliss. They did the same thing with AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar. The show was not selling. Now look at the changes to Survivor Series. All of a sudden, it's like, shit, I can't wait for Survivor Series. You weren't saying that with Mahal versus Lesnar, but you're saying it with AJ versus Lesnar. AJ versus Lesnar. Charlotte versus Alexa. The Bar versus the Usos. Right? Then you got John Cena added to Team SmackDown. The New Day versus The Shield. That's a lot of fucking changes. Those are major changes right there. Changes that are going to make the show better. WWE took the title off Mahal for now. For now. Because they wanted to make Survivor Series the biggest show that it could be. You could not do that with Jinder as champion. You couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. So that's why they did it. That's my honest opinion. That's not coming from sources. That's my honest opinion there. Do I think AJ Styles holds the title going into WrestleMania? No. I think, and don't quote me on this. This is just me talking out of my ass. I honestly think AJ loses it back at Clash of the Champions. I think with Cena back, I think they're going to go with Mahal and Cena at WrestleMania. I cannot see WWE going away from what they wanted to do. It sucks. It's not what I want to see, but that's what's going to happen. I don't see AJ Styles walking out of the WWE Championship or walking out with the WWE Championship, past Clash of the Champions. I think Mahal is going to get it back because he's due a rematch. They're going to book it for that pay-per-view. Anyway, moving on here. Something just came across my PC, and I took this before I hit record. Something that people are talking about right now is Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, possibly a big reason for AJ Styles winning the WWE title. It is now being reported that Paul Heyman had some influence over the decision to have AJ Styles face Brock Lesnar at the Survivor Series instead of Jinder Mahal. Apparently, Paul Heyman was one of the biggest guys pushing for the change because Lesnar and Styles was a much more intriguing match for WWE. Lesnar versus Mahal was also a heel versus heel dynamic, which could be confusing for the fans. The entire fucking pay-per-view was heel versus heel dynamic, except for the Shield versus the Usos. So WWE is rectifying all this, or at least half of it. Still got the Miz versus Corbin. I talked about Baron Corbin should lose the U.S. Championship to Ty Dillinger and put Ty Dillinger with the U.S. Championship and have him battle the Miz at Survivor Series. At least they have a fucking history. Someone on Twitter. Their Twitter exchanges were great. A few months ago, it was reported that Paul Heyman has a lot of backstage pull regarding Lesnar's booking, and WWE usually listens to Paul Heyman when it comes to Brock Lesnar. Apparently, Vince McMahon has given Heyman his ear to ensure that Brock Lesnar is being utilized properly when he's on WWE television. Because Brock Lesnar has to have a real-life feel to him. You cannot book Brock Lesnar like everybody else on the card. Lesnar is legit. Lesnar is a real athlete. Lesnar is a real fighter. You have to book him like a real athlete, as legit as a real fighter. WWE Creative doesn't like Paul Heyman changing their plans because they want to book Lesnar like a fucking fool. Meanwhile, Heyman knows Lesnar better than anybody. So if you should be listening to anybody, it's Paul Heyman. Never doubt the Jew. Guy's brilliant. So, Vince McMahon has given Heyman his ear to ensure that Brock Lesnar is being utilized properly. At some point, this became an issue for some people backstage in WWE Creative because they didn't want to work for Brock, knowing that Heyman would just change anything that they come up with. It's unlikely that Paul Heyman went to Vince McMahon and specifically told him to change the match at Survivor Series for Brock Lesnar. However, low ratings and fans' response to Lesnar vs. Mahal may have given Heyman the opportunity to state his opinion, which could have been one of the reasons why Vince McMahon decided to cancel Lesnar vs. Mahal and pull the trigger on the Beast versus the Phenomenal One, not AJ Styles. I don't doubt that for a second. I don't know if it's true or not, but I would not doubt that for 1 second. I would not doubt that for a second. I think Paul Heyman did have a reason, or a big reason, in AJ Styles winning the WWE Championship. My reason is because WWE knew that Survivor Series needed to be the biggest that it could be. It's not going to be that way with Mahal versus Lesnar. It's not. There's no interest in that match. At least we get someone who people like in AJ Styles, though he's going to lose. Mahal doesn't have a role in Survivor Series. I think Mahal is going to fuck over AJ Styles here. That's what I think his role is going to be. He's going to cost AJ Styles the match. You may see a phenomenal forearm, and then you may see Jinder Mahal come out of nowhere with the sings and just cost AJ Styles the win. We'll see what happens. Mahal's going to challenge AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at Clash of the Champions. I am certain on that. The thing is, will AJ walk out of that pay-per-view with the championship? The reason why it was changed was because WWE wanted Survivor Series to be the best that it could be. Going up against War Games, it looked like garbage. They're making the appropriate changes, which I appreciate. But it reeks of last-minute decisions. It reeks of them not having a plan. That's where my problem stems. You know? But I would not doubt for a second that Paul Heyman is a big reason for AJ Styles to win the WWE Championship. That is off the script. That is the news today for November 11th, 2017, man. Make sure you guys are on WrestleRumble.com. Make sure you guys get your War Games Pick'em and your Survivor Series Pick'em in place, man. You got all week. Tell them that Off the Script and JD from New York sent you. Obviously, you guys see there, War Games Pick'em, Survivor Series Pick'em, Survivor Series Weekend. You're going to win cold hard cash. You're going to win MVP points. You're going to receive a mystery crate from WrestleCrate.com, who are friends of the podcast. And if you are the MVP of the Wrestle Rumble Pick'em all year, you're going to win a belt by LeatherByDan.com. Custom-made championship belt. Boy, would I love to have a custom-made off-the-script title, bro. That would look fucking fantastic. I may actually get one made one of these days, man. So that is that, man. This social media segment is brought to you by WrestleRumble.com. Go visit them. Get in on Survivor Series. Use your knowledge to the test, or put your knowledge to the test. Try and guess the winners of Survivor Series amongst everything else that they might be asking you. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that $500 is going to come easy, man. It's going to be a challenge. There's a lot of good players, man, playing Wrestle Rumble. But you have a chance to win $500 cash, Survivor Series night. And you guys got a chance to win MVP points and a mystery crate from NXT War Games. So WrestleRumble.com is the place to be. Survivor Series weekend. This social media segment is brought to you by WrestleRumble.com. We're going to go into this, and we are going to answer a few fan-related questions. Let me see, man. This one comes from Jamar Adams on Twitter. Most of these are from Twitter. Actually, all of them are from Twitter. Hey, JD, this is how I think the pay-per-view calendar should look for WWE. Tell me what you think. Also, how would you book yours? January, Royal Rumble. February, Elimination Chamber. March, Bash at the Beach. WrestleMania is in April. Payback in May. TLC in June. King of the Ring in July. August, SummerSlam. No Mercy in September. Halloween Havoc in October. Survivor Series in November, and Starrcade in December. That is Jamar's WWE pay-per-view calendar. I like what you did here for the most part. Some of these I would keep. Bash at the Beach would not be in March. I would actually not have anything in March. My pay-per-view calendar would not have anything in March at all. Royal Rumble in January. Elimination Chamber is a very, very good pay-per-view to be the bridge between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. March would have no pay-per-view. WrestleMania would be in April. May would be, you could do Payback or Extreme Rules or something along those lines. Payback probably sounds better because Extreme Rules really has no point of being on the WWE calendar because it's not extreme. I think the most extreme thing we seen at Payback was a fucking kendo stick shot. There was no blood. So May would be Payback. June would be King of the Ring. June would be the bridge between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. That would be that. Winner of the King of the Ring, which would be a dual-branded pay-per-view. 8 from SmackDown, 8 from Raw. Massive 16-man tournament. You want to do it in one night over a span of 4-hour pay-per-view. If SummerSlam could be 4 hours, so can King of the Ring, bro. 16 men in one night competing to be the number one contender for the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship. That's what I want. I love tournaments. Tournaments make new superstars. That is a given. King of the Ring would be in June. Bash at the Beach would be in July. August would be SummerSlam. September would be... I would bring back Night of Champions. I would bring back Night of Champions or Clash of Champions, and I would do Clash of Champions the way that they're doing Survivor Series now. Seriously, that's what I would do. Halloween Havoc would be in October, yes. TLC would be off the pay-per-view calendar because I don't want any gimmick pay-per-views. Halloween Havoc would be in October. Survivor Series would be in November. We would go back to having it be Raw feuds versus Raw feuds and SmackDown feuds versus SmackDown feuds. If you want to have one dual-branded match, it would be Raw versus SmackDown, men's Survivor Series, and women's Survivor Series. Other than that, I would have everything else just be, IC title, US title, Cruiserweight title, Tag Team titles on the show, and whatever storylines you got going on right now for your appropriate brand. You don't need to make it champion versus champion. That's what Clash of the Champions should be about. And on Clash of the Champions, I would actually include NXT. Tease NXT, Have them have a taste of the main stage at Clash of the Champions. NXT Championship match, Showcase what you got down there. And December would be Starrcade for sure. I like most of what you got there. I would change a few things here and there. But primarily, that is a very, very good WWE pay-per-view calendar. Non-wrestling related question here from Erwin. Hey, JD, I'm a Patreon. Thank you so much, brother. Patreon.com/JD206 if you guys want to get in on that. Love your Mario Kart, bro. Are we going to see Luigi back on Team JD, or is he forever benched? I think we'll be seeing Luigi soon, bro. Mario Kart gameplay got uploaded on Friday, over an hour long of nothing but sheer frustration because every time I tried to come in first place, which was quite often, got myself a new beast car for Tanuki Mario. Every time I hit first place, a blue shell would nail me and just fuck me over. So if you guys want to see that, Patreon.com/JD206. It is the $5 or more tier. So thank you guys so much for that. Coming from another Patreon, this one is from HJ the Survivor on Twitter. Hello, JD, I'm a Patreon, and I was wanting your opinion on something. Do you think that the UK title is going to be used as a mid-card title on NXT, given Dunn is moving to Raw and it's being defended against Gargano? If this is the case, do you agree with this move by WWE? I would not make the UK title a mid-card title on NXT. I would actually have it be its own show. I would much rather watch a UK show than a 205 Live. WWE is in the process of expanding markets. I think the UK show would do very well. I enjoyed the UK tournament. I would love to see something like that come to be. I don't know when that's going to happen. As far as NXT and a mid-card title, I would love if NXT had its own mid-card title. The NXT, Dream Championship. Something like that. Something to really idolize and memorialize Dusty Rhodes. That's what I think would be beneficial. The UK title, I do not want to see on NXT. You could feature it on NXT just to give the UK guys some rub. But I don't think Pete Dunne is moving to Monday Night Raw either. It's being defended against Gargano because WWE wants to give the fans in attendance something special. So I don't think it's going to be anything really all that, game-changing. They're just giving the fans something to drool over. You're making me drool by not putting it on the network, but I don't think the UK title is going to be a mid-card title on NXT. If they did do that, I would not be opposed to it, but it would not be my first plan of action. It would not be my number one. I would have the NXT brand get its own mid-card title because there's a lot of guys there that I feel could benefit from a mid-card title. Johnny Gargano being one of them. Almas, Tommaso Ciampa when he comes back, Lars Sullivan, Cassius Ohno, Hideo Itami, the Velveteen Dream. A lot of guys there could benefit from a mid-card title. Fabian Eichner, A mid-card title on NXT, I think, needs to be instituted, hopefully in 2018. But I don't think Pete Dunne is moving to Monday Night Raw either. God forbid. Eric, hashtag fuck depression, at Demon198812. He asks, JD, why is Asuka so overrated? Why are you tweeting me such rubbish? Asuka is not overrated. Clearly, you didn't watch NXT. Go watch her Ember Moon match at TakeOver at SummerSlam weekend. Tell me Asuka's overrated. Don't tweet me such garbage. Ever. Asuka is overrated because you probably are a WWE shill. You take the raw cock and jam it down your throat so far where you got no gag reflex. Asuka is not overrated. If Asuka is overrated, then WWE is doing a poor job at booking Asuka. Triple H protected Asuka for 2.5 fucking years. All for Vince McMahon to ruin it so that I get shit like that tweeted to me that Asuka's overrated? Nah, bro. That tweet's overrated. Frank Smith. JD, with James now a free agent, do you see him returning to WWE to reform Beer Money with Rude? James Storm is a free agent, looking like he's coming back to the WWE according to rumors. I would not form Beer Money with Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is glorious for a reason. Bobby Roode will remain glorious. Bobby Roode needs to turn heel. Bobby Roode needs to be in WWE title contention next year. Maybe a short stint with the U.S. title. But James Storm is NXT. If he's not NXT, he's too old to do anything important on the main roster. WWE will probably use him as an agent or a trainer at the Performance Center. But no, I would not reform Beer Money. Bobby Roode is glorious for the rest of his career. AJ is the WWE champ. He tweets me, JD, what do you think happens with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Survivor Series? Well, I mentioned this today, and I mentioned it yesterday. I think they fuck over SmackDown Live, and they cost SmackDown Live the match against Raw at Survivor Series. Simple as that. Bucks fan, what's up, brother? Who do you think will be the next big thing in the NXT women's division? One thing I can say about the women's division, I can't wait to see what Bianca Belair is going to do for NXT. That. You know, you can say Kairi Sane, you could say Ember Moon, you could say Santana Garrett. Until Toni Storm comes into WWE, which I think she will, eventually. She's got to finish up whatever she's doing. She's still 21, 22. We got Bianca Belair, the next big thing in the women's division, man. She is going to be outstanding. And my God, that hair whip is a fucking mark-out moment, man. When she slaps that motherfucker across someone's back, that fucking riles up the fans like nothing else, man. She is the next big thing, no question, in the women's division. Let me see what we got here. Sabre Squadron. What do you not like about NXT? It's a good question, bro. The one thing I don't like about NXT, Percy Watson. Simple as that. If I was to choose anything else, it's the fact that it's only an hour. I would bump it up to an hour and a half, and I would include a mid-card title. Give everybody something to fight for. Good question, though. Let me see here. What else do we got? Johnny Blaze. I'm probably late with my question. You're good to go, bro. But I would like to know which indie star, excluding Omega, either male or female, would you most want to see signed and have a major push in WWE? This one is probably Ricochet and Michael Elgin. I think Michael Elgin is very fucking underrated. He's impressive. And I would love to see Ricochet in WWE, which I think is going to happen. NXT, Royal Rumble weekend, Royal Rumble weekend in Philadelphia, NXT Philadelphia. I think we see Ricochet, man. Don't count on it, but I think it's leaning towards that. I think he's done with New Japan. I think he's done with Lucha Underground, which I just seen on Twitter. Now that I'm on Twitter, people tweeting me. Season 4 has just been announced, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Let's see what else we got here, man. We had a few repeats. Let me see. How long do you think the WWE Championship reign of AJ Styles will last? That one is coming from Jose Zuniga. I think it lasts till Clash of the Champions. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I hope it lasts through WrestleMania, where we see Nakamura and AJ Styles at WrestleMania, with Nakamura beating AJ Styles for the WWE title at WrestleMania 34. Maddie C, what's up, brother? Do you think the rise of Ring of Honor New Japan will be good for WWE as proper competition? Surely makes better creative. I don't think WWE gives a shit about Ring of Honor or New Japan. I don't think Ring of Honor or New Japan will be competition for WWE. Not New Japan, at least for a very long time. Nobody's going to be competition for WWE. WWE will always be the land of opportunity, right? It's the land of where everybody wants to come. Don't say that you know what other guys are going to do, man. Everybody wants to come to WWE. Everybody. You don't think Kenny Omega wants to come to WWE and wrestle at WrestleMania in front of 90,000 people? Of course he wants that. Every professional wrestler wants that. Don't think that you know everything. Omega will be in the WWE when he does everything he's got to do in New Japan. But WWE, to make them better creatively, they ain't looking at Ring of Honor or New Japan. You might have some people within the company watching the product, but that doesn't mean that whatever you see over there is going to have some type of direct influence on their product. WWE doesn't give a shit. They've shown us that. In a perfect world, WWE would look at Wrestle Kingdom 12 and the way it's shaping up and model it for WrestleMania 34. But you think they're going to do that? You think they're going to do that with Reigns and Lesnar and then Mahal versus Cena being the rumored 2 matches for WrestleMania? My God. If WWE was smart, they would look at New Japan and be like, well, I don't want to be outdone here. I think maybe we should get our game together and book something even better. That's the way I look at it. No, but Vince McMahon lives in his own bubble. He doesn't realize what's going on outside WWE. He don't care. So no, it's not going to make WWE better creatively. I wish it would be that way, but no, I don't think it's going to have any direct effect on WWE. Quentin Noble. Why do so many people support Jinder and call him a great champion? It makes sense to me. It makes no sense to me at all. Quentin, I don't know why. I got confused by your question. I think you had a little too many typos in there, bro. Why do so many people support Jinder Mahal and call him a great champion? Because they are WWE cocksuckers. Jinder was on his way to being a legit heel. A legit heel. That one promo that he cut after winning that 6-pack challenge, that was like, wow. Okay, I could get behind this. I gave it a month. I gave it a month and a half. And after that, it was a failed experiment. He got bigger. He got worse. His character got worse. And he wasn't receiving legit heel heat. He was receiving go-away heat. That's what many people don't understand. They think Jinder's a great heel. He's not a great heel because the fans don't want to see him on television. They're telling you, go away. Jinder can't wrestle. Jinder doesn't really have the makeup of a champion. He's got the body of a champion. He's got the look of a champion. He's got the entrance of a champion. But that doesn't mean he's a champion. These are people who watch the product and just swallow everything that they're given. It doesn't matter. Jinder is a terrible champion and had one of the worst reigns of the modern era. Joshua, how would you book Jason Jordan after Survivor Series? I would have dissension between he and Angle at Survivor Series, and I would turn Jason Jordan heel. WWE pushed Jason Jordan as a babyface. He receives no reaction. Right now, Jason Jordan's receiving go-away reaction, go-away heat. So you might as well just feed into that. Do what you did with do what you didn't do with Roman, and do it with Jordan. Turn him heel. Have him cost Angle an elimination at Survivor Series by some miscommunication. Turn him heel. That's the road for Jason Jordan. That's the road I think is going to be most successful for Double J. We're going to do this last one here, man, before I get out of here. JD's biggest fanboy. I'm JD's the guy on Twitter. Who would you have booked to beat Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe or Braun Strowman? I asked this in a time before Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, but we were in the Fatal 5-Way during that time. I honestly would have, I would not have minded either one of them. I think either one of them would have been great. I think, well, the way you look at it now, we didn't know it then, but Samoa Joe ended up getting hurt. Samoa Joe was hurt. He just took time off to get better. So if that was the case, I wouldn't have given it to Joe. I would have given it to Braun Strowman. I think Braun Strowman being on Monday Night Raw every week, the Universal Championship being on Monday Night Raw every week would have made the show better. It would have given those guys in the main event something to fight for. They could have positioned the Samoa Joe after he came back as a Universal Championship threat to Braun Strowman. At least the title would have been on Raw being defended and being showcased. Look at me, Braun Strowman. I'm the Universal Champion. I'm the man now. The only reason why they have it on Lesnar is because they're waiting for Reigns to have his time and give him another coronation at WrestleMania. But I would have had Braun Strowman beat Brock Lesnar at No Mercy. That was the right time. That was the time to do it. Samoa Joe would have been good too, but knowing that he took time off after the fact probably would have made things in hindsight kind of shitty. He took almost 2 months off. But I still see Joe as a Universal Champion. But comparing the two, I would have had Braun Strowman take the title off Brock Lesnar. I got a question, or I'm going to answer a question that you didn't ask because just it's pertaining to the two guys. Out of the two, who do I see first to be Universal Champion? I would even go with Braun Strowman there. I do think Samoa Joe is going to be a champion at some point on WWE television. Might not be Universal Champion, but if they move him over to SmackDown like I hope that they do, I'd love to see Samoa Joe win the WWE Championship. But Braun Strowman should have beat Brock Lesnar at No Mercy. It was the perfect opportunity, but WWE, again, bypassed it because they did it for Roman. Simple as that. Thank you guys so much, man. That is your social media segment brought to you by WrestleRumble.com. If you guys want to get in on that, JDOTS is the hashtag to use. Tweet me, use the hashtag JDOTS, and you'll get featured right here on Off the Scripts social media segment. I am JD. Thank you guys so very much. Tomorrow, we got more news on Jericho, Omega, Alpha versus Omega, and is WWE still contracting Chris Jericho? We'll talk about that tomorrow on Off the Script. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206 and hit that subscribe button down below for the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script. I'm JD. Make it a great Saturday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for part 3.